मेरा मकसद शो करने ਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਹੋ ਸਕੇ।
ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ। ਨਵੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੀ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਣਾ।
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ, ਮੈਂ ਸਪਾਲ ਜਾਲੀ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਦੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਦ ਲੇਟ ਸ਼ੋ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਯੂਕੇ ਦਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਕੋਨੇ 'ਚ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋ ਬੜਾ ਨਿੱਘਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਮੈਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਬੜੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਇੰਟੈਲੈਕਚੁਅਲ ਗੈਸਟ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਸ਼ੋ ਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਬੜਾ ਪਸੰਦ ਪਰਸਨਲੀ ਬੜਾ ਲਾਈਕ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਸ਼ੋ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਹੋ ਸਕੇ। ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸ਼ੋਅ 'ਚ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਰਾਜ ਬੇਜ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਬੇਸ਼ੁਮਾਰ ਬਿਮਾਰ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਬਿਮਾਰ। ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਦੇ ਟੈਲੀਫੋਨ ਲਾਈਨ ਖੋਲ੍ਹਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ ਬੜੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਾਲ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਬੇਸ਼ੁਮਾਰ ਕਾਲ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਦ ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਪੀਪਲ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਬਿਮਾਰੀਆਂ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡਾਇਬਟੀਜ਼ ਲੈ ਲਓ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਲੱਡ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਲੈ ਲਓ, ਦੇ ਆਰ ਸੋ ਕਾਮਨ। ਹਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਫਰ ਕਰਦਾ। ਅੱਜ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਹੈਗਾ ਐਕੂਪੰਕਚਰ ਅਤੇ ਹੈਲਥ ਲਈ। ਐਂਡ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੈਡੀਕਲੀ, ਉਹਦੇ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਇੰਟੈਲੈਕਚੁਅਲ ਗੈਸਟ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦਾ। ਅੱਜ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਾਸ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਵੈਰੀ ਐਜੂਕੇਟਿਡ ਐਕੂਪੰਕਚਰ ਅਤੇ ਹੈਲਥ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੈਸਟ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਮੈਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਾਲ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਕਰੋ, ਅੱਛਾ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਰੋ। ਕੁਛ ਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਜੋ ਉਹ ਲਫ਼ਜ਼ ਕਹੇਗਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਗੈਸਟ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਂਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਡੈਫੀਨੇਟਲੀ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਕਰੋਗੇ। ਸਮ ਟਾਈਮਸ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹੋਗੇ ਮੈਂ ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ 'ਤੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੋ ਗਈ। ਸੋ ਮੇਰੀ ਉਮੀਦ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੋਵੇ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਭਲਾ ਹੋਵੇ। ਚਲੋ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੈਸਟ ਦੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਕੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੈ ਕੁਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਕੌਰ। Thank you so much for coming on to the channel. Really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Paul. Thank you to Akaal Channel as well.
My pleasure.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's great to be here.
You deserve the opportunity because you're a professional and I'm looking for people like yourself.
Well, there's many acupuncturists out there nowadays, but I don't think that we know enough about it in our community.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਐਕੂਪੰਕਚਰ ਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ, ਪਰ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਸਮਥਿੰਗ ਬੜੀ ਐਂਸ਼ੀਅੰਟ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਪੁਰਾਣੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ। ਇਟਸ ਜਸਟ ਡਾਈਡ ਡਾਊਨ। ਇਹਦੀ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ, ਕਾਹਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਐਂਡ the most important thing is I always like to know whenever you pick up a profession, why did you decide to do that? Is family history, the medical team from the family, something you thought you want to do that?
Well, funny thing is that my father always wanted me to be a doctor.
There you go. There you go.
But I decided to go down the natural path, and I decided to do things the most basic, the most simple, and keep it as natural as possible. So that's why acupuncture is so important to me. How did I start? I started because when I was studying at university, I actually read up on reflexology. So I did chemistry as a degree, and it was reflexology that caught my attention. And I was really interested how we had so many points in the feet. I knew nothing about acupuncture at that stage, but
Really?
I started studying reflexology, and that led me to study acupressure, which then led me to acupuncture. So that's how the journey began when I was at university.
But this wasn't your actual profession, was it?
No. I actually studied chemistry. I went on to do information systems as a master's, and I've been working in marketing, I've been working in insurance, in banking. So I've taken that route of going to university, doing 2 masters, working in London, commuting a great deal. But what I have been doing is studying alongside my jobs, and this health has just been something that has been so important to me because we're all affected by it, and I think that health is our true wealth, really. Without it, we have nothing. Without it, it doesn't matter what a great job we have, it doesn't matter how much we have in the bank. You need your health, and you need it, everything to be working the best it can. So
Very well said.
yeah.
But a lot of people, you know, just like Kulwinder ne kiya कि most important जो थोड़ी wealth है थोड़ी health है पहला. But a lot of people turn the other way around. Which is true, isn't it?
It's very
I'm
true.
sorry, especially
Yes.
with ancient community ना जब ਅਸੀਂ start करते हैं काम करना कि पैसा 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 we forget the health, we forget the relation, we
Yes.
forget everything. We lose out on a lot of things. And when you wake up one day,
You suffer.
you suffer. You, would
Yes.
not, you know, you think, oh my God, what happened? Then there's no rewind.
Yes.
But then you can take it back again and start again.
You
know,
can't.
because
You can't do that.
You can't do
no.
that.
And this is something I am trying to raise awareness on, which is try these natural methods first. Like you said, acupuncture is a very ancient way of healing. It goes back to 1100 BC, which is almost 3,000 years. And when you think about, you know, some of the operations that people undergo, you know, they haven't been around for so long. But this is something that has started thousands of years ago. There's, it's in China, I think, but India, it's been recorded in India as well.
I'm
But
going to ask you, is it actually from India? Was it China first?
what I have read is that it's been from China, and the courses that I've gone on as well is that it originated in China, but it has moved around. I mean, there's documents within Sri Lanka, there's documents within India as well, but I'm sure someone out there probably knows more about the history of acupuncture than what I do. But you know, it's evolved over time, and it's something, if I can talk about what it is.
Can I just make it a bit
Yeah,
clear?
please. Yeah.
Acupuncture, ਜਿਹੜੀ needles ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ stick ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, whatever it does, Kulwinder ਅੱਜ explain ਕਰੇਗੀ. By the way, ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ Kulwinder is professional, qualified, but it's just a chat show. ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ advice ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ, please don't start doing it at home because you need consultation, you need proper advice. ਉਦੋਂ ਪੁੱਛ ਕੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹਦਾ ਕਰਿਓ ਐਟਲੀਸਟ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਐਕਿਊਪੰਕਚਰ ਕੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਨਥਿੰਗ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੋ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਾਂ ਕਿ ਪਾਲ ਦੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਕੁਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਇਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੈਨ ਡੂ ਦੈਟ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਡੋਂਟ ਡੂ ਦੈਟ ਐਟ ਹੋਮ ਇਟਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਯੂ ਗੋਟ ਟੂ ਟੇਕ ਅ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਐਡਵਾਈਸ ਉਹਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ
And that is so important.
It is very
If
important.
I can just emphasize that.
We're going to talk generally.
There are dangerous points.
Dangerous points.
And you can do a lot of damage.
Exactly.
And certainly, you know, I've got some demonstrations that we're going to show a little later.
We'll be doing that later on, yes.
A little later, but even then, you know, that is when somebody is healthy. If someone is pregnant, you shouldn't be doing some of those demos.
Exactly.
And we have dangerous points all over our body. So
Actually, before we talk anything else
Yeah,
about the danger point or benefits or what are the side effects, a lot of people know, but a lot of people might not know. What is acupuncture?
yeah, acupuncture is about either applying heat, massaging, or applying needles to acupoints that we have all over our body. So all these acupoints have a function to play, and they are connected to parts of our body, and they are connected to our organs. They are connected via channels across our body, and I have a, you know, my model, and we're going to show pictures of that little later as well. But it is these points on our body where if they are massaged, if heat is applied, or if a needle is inserted, then it creates a healing effect, and it is all about bringing the body back to balance. So when these channels are blocked, this is when you get illness, and this is when you get disease. And when these channels are unblocked and the energy starts flowing again, that's the healing effect of acupuncture.
You know how many maximum needles you actually put on when you do any kind of treatment on the body?
So firstly, it absolutely depends on the person you're treating and what you're treating them for. So that is the most key thing. Generally, if I was to say generally, it would be something no more than 10 needles.
Is it?
Yes, yeah.
Tell me, when you do that, how come they're not painful when you insert into the body or when no blood comes out?
No.
It's quite scary just to look at when you...
No, it's not scary.
Is it? I don't know.
It's not
I'm
scary.
not trying to scare people, but for some people
Please,
it might be.
there's no need to be scared. And these are ultra thin needles.
Oh.
They're ultra thin. They are hairline. They're thinner than our hair.
Thinner than hair.
They go in, and when they go in the right pressure point, there should not be any pain.
Okay.
And I can tell you that when my clients come in, most of them actually end up falling asleep because they are so relaxed. Because acupuncture starts working straight away, and the energy within you starts working straight away. It changes your biochemistry. That's what it does. So it's used for pretty much everything. It can be used for any kind of condition, as long as it's not an emergency. Acupuncture can be used.
Very good. Well said. Okay.
Yes.
Will that treat the back problem as well?
Oh yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Any kind of pain.
I'll tell you why. The reason I asked, because I went to Kenya and had a big back problem there.
Right.
And my back problem just comes and goes without any reason.
Oh, okay.
1 week it could be real bad.
So there will be a reason. That's the thing. There will be a reason why
Of
it
course.
comes and goes.
Of course, yeah.
And acupuncture is all about understanding the body, understanding what's happening, so that you are treating the root cause of that.
And obviously I was lying on my back. And the whoever the guy was, he put a lot of needles in my back.
Yeah.
And I could feel, honestly, I could feel relaxation.
Good. Okay.
When it was happening, as soon when I finished, I didn't feel.
Yeah.
Now, is this in the mind, or does that really help
It
you?
really happens.
It does really happen.
Because, like I said, if you have blocked energy within you, once that's released, and once energy starts...
Look at that at the moment.
Yes. Look at that back pain. You know, if you look at the nerves, if you look at the skeletal system, the muscular system, everything is connected. Our blood supply, our nervous system, everything is connected. And then we have tissue, we have fascia, and what the needles do is they stimulate all of that. And this is what I mean, in that it starts changing the biochemistry of the body, but it also starts releasing blockages so that energy can flow again.
I would like you to explain me what kind of problems you have that you can do the acupuncture for. Like, okay, one thing very important you said, not for the emergencies, because that's something that will be rushed into the hospital.
Exactly.
Otherwise, before you put yourself under the knife, there are a lot of ways you can actually save that by doing the acupuncture.
Yes, yeah. So this is a very important point, in that before you do something very severe, why not try a natural treatment?
Natural treatment.
Before you even take something, some kind of medication which is really strong, you know, again, try some kind of natural treatment, and acupuncture is one of those treatments. If you have a severe operation, there's no coming back from that, and your health may not be the same as what it was before. So, you know, it's really important to really emphasize that. What can it be used for? Well, women's health, men's health, fertility, any kind of pain, insomnia, anxiety, emotional trauma, whatever
Really?
it is that you are going through, acupuncture can help you with that. Because another thing that I should have said at the very beginning is that it's not just about treating you through massage or heat or needles, but it is looking at the holistic life that you are living. So it's looking at the holistic you. And what that means is that it is, you know, I would ask my clients then about their environment, their lifestyle, the food that they are eating. their past, their emotions, trauma that they've gone through, because all of that is important and all of that is playing out in the body as well. So, you know, it's about understanding that, because you have to go to the root cause. So, for example, if someone has gone through something, it's been a shock in their life, they've gone through depression because of it, and as a result of that, it's led into chronic illness, you can't then look at them and say, oh, yeah, it's this illness. It actually goes way back, you know, back to their history, and you have to understand what is it that's really affecting you today as well.
मैं एक चीज़ क्लियर करना, देखो जेरे कुलविंदर दसदी है बेनिफिट वगैरह एक्यूपंक्चर दे, बड़ी बड़ी बीमारियां दा ओदा फर्क पैंदा एक्यूपंक्चर कराने नाल। थोड़ी जेरी अपनी हेल्थ किद्दां दी हैगी है, योर जीपी नोज और योर डॉक्टर नोज, शी डजंट नो दैट जेरी असी टॉक करदे एक जनरल टॉक हैगी है। अगर थोनों जेरी अच्छी डिजीज़ के ऊपर मैं दो सवाल पूछांगा, हुणी बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट जो कुलविंदर ने कहे ने, ट्रॉमा एंड एंगजाइटी बड़े कॉमन हैगे लोगों के बीच। मैं ओदा पता करना चाहता कि की फ़र्क हो सकता है। बहुत लोग ये चीज़ों तो सफ़र करते हैं। प्लीज़ डोंट रश इन के इमीडिएटली कुलविंदर ने एडवाइस दी थी, आई वांट टू गेट दिस डन, अगेन टेक एन ओपिनियन फ्रॉम योर जीपी कि दिस इज़ व्हाट आई हर्ड, कैन दिस बी दस टू मी, इज दिस बेनिफिशियल टू मी, सारा पता करो। I want you to tell me these two things, trauma and anxiety, because Asians, I think this is the topmost things which we suffer from.
We go through a lot of stuff.
Lot of stuff.
And we don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it.
So it never arises, it's never well understood, and there seems to be a lot of, how can I say, is it being ashamed of talking about your feelings, or talking about being hurt or shocked? I mean, when I think about my parents, for example, you know, they came over from India. I can completely understand how shocking something would be here in the UK, having gone through from India to here, you know, that generation, they've gone through a lot. But we're very good at putting up a face which is, you know, we're fine, everything's fine, and we just kind of crack on and carry on with our lives and, you know, on to the next project or on to the next activity. But sometimes we have to talk about what's gone on in the past, and sometimes we have to talk about our feelings. If someone's gone through an accident, if someone has lost a dear one, again, we don't always talk about it, and we have to, this is where looking after our heart is the most important thing. And looking after our feelings and looking after our emotions are so important, because someone who is then going through some kind of anxiety, and if it's not dealt with, or they're going through some kind of hurt or depression, it can lead to more severe problems later on down the line. So...
Do you find people normally would come in like, because I find very, what's the right word? Not common that people will go into somebody to say, I'm suffering from anxiety all the time and I'm going through trauma. The last person they will ever think of going to the person who does the acupuncture. Why is that? So little knowledge about it.
Too little knowledge, too little awareness, and people haven't spoken about it enough. They're starting to. People are coming out. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of podcasts. There's a lot of websites that are now available. Information, articles, even medical associations. You know, they've got a lot of articles out there as well in terms of the science behind acupuncture, so, and how it can help. So yeah, but sometimes you have to do a bit of research yourself.
Tell me the side effects and benefits.
Side effects, it is down to the diagnosis, and it is down to how well your practitioner understands you, and also how open you are with them as well. Like I said, it is about understanding the holistic approach. So knowing not just about your health condition, but what's your lifestyle like? What kind of food are you eating? What is your day like? You have to know all these things. So how open are you as well? So once you understand your patient, you can do a thorough diagnosis. And diagnosis is not just the person talking, but it's about taking the pulse. It's about observing them. You call it interrogating as well, you know, through your consultation. But just talking with someone for around an hour and just taking the time to really understand them. But it doesn't just stop there. You carry on that relationship as you're having treatments done. So if you've done a thorough diagnosis, then you'll be able to understand what the root cause is and treat the root cause. In terms of side effects, I guess the only thing that I can think of is someone hasn't diagnosed you well, and you probably go away. Maybe you came with anxiety, maybe you came with some pain, and you go away with that pain and don't feel that it's been treated.
But the other reason it could be that the patient, so-called, has not actually opened up exactly what's wrong.
That's true.
मैं चीज़ दसना चाहूँगा because fully Punjabi understand करती है, but she can't speak. बोल सकते हैं, but she reluctant because उन्हें लगता है कि मैं explain नहीं कर पाऊँगी because it's very professional subject है. ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਆਪਣੀ body ਪਿੱਛੇ ਬੜਾ shy ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ. We are not very much open about it. ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ simple ਔਰਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ, monthly ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ breast cancer ਵਗੈਰਾ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, lot of ladies do not want to talk until unless they're ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ GP doctor ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਅੱਗੇ lady, then they might open up because lady ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਜ਼ਰਾ open up ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ. Accountant ਹੋਇਆ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ doctor ਹੋਇਆ, these are the people you need to be absolutely honest with these people ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਦਦ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਲੋਅਰ ਹੈਗਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੇਸ ਫਾਈਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਨਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹਾਈਡ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਬਚਣ ਦੇ ਚਾਂਸਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਵੈਰੀ ਸਟ੍ਰੇਟ ਫੋਰਵਰਡ, ਵੈਰੀ ਓਪਨ. ਇੱਕ ਜਿਸਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਸ਼ਾਈਨੈਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਨਾ, ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ, ਉਹਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਲਵੋ. One of the reasons ਹੋਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਡਾਇਗਨੋਸ ਗਲਤ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਐਕਿਊਪੰਕਚਰ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਈਡ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫੈਕਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੱਸੇ. You have not opened up to the...
You haven't opened up.
Opened up.
And it's not just women, but think about men's health. Men go through a lot of things as well.
Exactly.
And
I should have mentioned that. I didn't mean to discriminate.
But that's the thing, in that, you know, it's... and there's less information out there. You know, women, we're starting to talk a lot about women. We're starting to talk a lot about menopause as well.
I'm going to ask you that.
Yes.
Actually, you got out of my mouth.
Yes.
Does that help, menopause, with the acupuncture?
So women can go through many symptoms.
Symptoms.
There could be over 100 symptoms related to menopause. And yes, acupuncture can help with that. Pretty much all of them. Because again, it is understanding what is it that you're going through and what is it that needs treating. And again, it is understanding that individual. You know, the food that they're eating might not be right for them, but they continue eating it without knowing that, for example, dairy, you know, for many women, we don't think anything about it. We have our coffees, we have our teas, we have yogurt, we'll have cream, and, you know, Indian sweets have a lot of dairy and in them as well. So, but if you knew the effect that it was having on your body, because at the end of the day, your foods can be alkaline or they can be acidic. And we have to eat, our human bodies have to eat more alkaline foods than we do acidic foods. And dairy falls under the acidic category, so yeah.
We're running so fast, the time is really running out. We could be going in a break within a minute. I'll still ask you a question. If you don't finish it before the break, we can continue. A lot of people got phobia about the needles. Do you have to treat them the phobia side of the first, or whether how do you deal with that?
I would firstly tell them that how relaxed they are going to feel. So, somebody said to me the other day, I'm okay with blood tests. I'm okay with those needles, but I'm scared of your needles.
Exactly.
And I'm thinking, you're okay. How does that work? But once they see the needles, and I'm more than happy to demonstrate on myself as well, they will see exactly how fine they are. And just by inserting one, the first one that I insert is normally on the head, which just relaxes people. And I normally ask them, did you feel that? The answer is normally no. I didn't feel anything.
I think we're going towards the break.
Okay.
Actually, थोड़ी जी break लवांगे. Please keep watching. देखो बड़ा informative, बड़ा education show हैगा. ये just a chat show हैगी because general talk हैगी है. ये हर चीज़ नो fact नहीं करेगी. Kulwinder will have to diagnose and what's the other word you used? You got to interrogate.
Interrogate,
Very good word that is. बड़ा कुछ check करके ना फिर उधर ते treatment शुरू होती है. क्योंकि lot of चीज़ां acupuncture simple भी हैगा, it can be very complicated at some time, कुछ ना कुछ खराब हो सकता है. किसी भी तरह दे ਇਹਦਾ idea सिर्फ हैगा कि जे end of the day ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ you have to go under the knife ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ operation कराना पैंदा है, ਉਹ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਉਹਦਾ consequences ਹੋਣਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ suffer करना पैंदा है. So at least alternative हैगा ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦਾ use करो अगर हो सकता है. छोटी जी break लेके सी हुणे वापस आने. Please don't go too far. Thank you जी. सत श्री अकाल.
ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਨਵੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੀ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਣਾ
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਬੈਕ ਇਨ ਦਾ ਸੈਕੰਡ ਪਾਰਟ ਮੈਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ ਤੋਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਰੋ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕਈ ਦਫਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸ਼ੋ ਉਦੋਂ ਬੜੀ ਇੰਟਰਸਟਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਜਾਂ ਕੂਲ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਹੀਟਡ ਅਪ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਮੇਰਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੋ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਅਖੀਰ ਤੱਕ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਇੰਟਰਸਟਿੰਗ ਰੱਖਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੜੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਾਲ ਸੁਣੋ प्लीज़ किसी भी तरह की समझ नहीं पैंदी कोशिश करो जरा ध्यान सुन के उसकी मदद होएगी यह शो का मकसद होंगे कि असी ना हमेशा जो भी डॉक्टर तुहानूं एक गल कह दिंदा है कि बई इहदा कोई इलाज नहीं हैगा तुहानूं ऑपरेशन कराना पेगा किसी भी तरीका बॉडी दे विच एक बार तुसीं ऑपरेशन करा लिया देयर इज़ नो गोइंग बैक अगेन अगर वो ठीक पै गया ठीक है नहीं बैठा दैन उसका कोई चेंज नहीं हो सकता अल्टरनेटिव होंदे ने कोई एक्यूपंक्चर होंदा कोई देसी इलाज होंदा अगर थोड़े पास टाइम हैगा ना कोई हार्ज नहीं हैगा ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੋ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰੋ ਪਰ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਜੀਪੀ ਦੀ ਸਲਾਹ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਿ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਡਿਪੈਂਡਿੰਗ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਮੈਡੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋ whether can you have another treatment alongside with the other treatment you're having ਹੋਰ ਆਪਣੀ ਬੋਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤੀ ਕੰਪਲਿਕੇਟ ਨਾ ਕਰਿਓ ਬੜੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਐਡਵਾਈਸ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਬੜਾ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਲਥ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵੈਲਥ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕੁਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਇਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ 'ਚ ਗੱਲ ਰੱਖੋ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਬੰਦਾ ਸੋਚਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਯੰਗ ਹੈਗਾ ਮੈਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਹੈਲਥ ਨੂੰ ਬਾਅਦ 'ਚ ਦੇਖਾਂਗਾ ਵਾਂਸ ਹੈਲਥ ਚਲੇਗੀ ਵਾਪਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਇਟਸ ਵੈਰੀ ਡਿਫਿਕਲਟ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ ਫੂਡ ਦੀ ਹਵਾ ਦੀ ਅਤੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਲਾਈਫ ਸਟਾਈਲ ਦੀ ਉਹਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਾਈਫ 'ਚ ਕੀ ਫਰਕ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਤੇ ਗੌਰ ਕਰਿਓ talking about air, food and lifestyle.
Yes, yeah. So air, let's start there. When you think about breathing, we normally just breathe in a very shallow way. We don't take any deep breaths anymore unless you do them consciously, like for those who go and have yoga or go to Pilates, etc., or they actually do some breath work. Or those who do meditation, for example, they may well do some breath work. But we are always breathing very shallow. And there is a demonstration that I have. Maybe we can show it. But really understanding how to deep breathe is so important for us. And that is breathing and you can feel the breath down in your abdomen. So many people think that deep breathing is your chest expanding and your shoulders rising. It's got nothing to do with your shoulders or this top half here. It's actually got everything to do with the abdomen here. So that's very important. A lot of us live in cities. There's a lot of pollution around, or we're working in offices and the air conditioning itself is making us sick. So how many of us are actually going out and walking in the countryside, for example, and getting that fresh air into our bodies. You know, how are we helping our bodies? Because you need oxygen in order to survive. But if we're just doing this shallow breath the whole time, then, you know, we're not helping ourselves, really. And yeah, just by sitting down, when you think about sitting down at your laptop, even those who are working from home these days, you know, they spend a lot of time sitting down. How many times are you getting up? How many times are you actually getting some fresh air? I mean, it was a beautiful day today. There was sunshine today, at least there was in my hometown, and spent a lot of time in the garden. How many people actually go out and spend that time just getting the sunshine that
You
we
know,
need as well?
I'm going to ask you that because we all know that the benefits of fresh air, walking into the field, going away into the countryside, breathing deep instead of shallow.
Yeah.
We have good time. We're in a rat race. We wait until things go wrong. Then we start working hard that this is what I need to do. How can we educate people that these things are important as when you're growing up and you're younger?
And this is why we have to be talking about it. This is why we have to be implementing it also in our workplace. We have to raise those questions with the companies that we work with. There's going to be many people who are watching your program who, you know, have teams, who have very large teams, you know, they are responsible for their workforce. So how do you go about having and creating that balance? That work-life balance, we all talk about it, but are we actually living the work-life balance? I don't think that we are.
मैं ना
really.
हर शो ते जो मेडिकल शो करदा सी ना every time मैं एक लफ्ज़ यूज़ कर देना कि सुबह उठ के ना make yourself feel better, make yourself dress up, make you feel कि मैं happy हैगा. Only then you can go out and make other people happy. अगर तुसी खुश नहीं है दूसरे लोगों को खुश नहीं कर सकते. Instead of sitting at home feeling sorry for yourself, cursing God, मैनू क्या होया, काते होया, do something about it. Television तुसी watch कर दे हो, please go out in the park. थोड़ी देर लिए जाओ पार्क च walk करो. कितने लोग को तुसी जाके पार्क च walk करके एक bench पे बैठ के deep breathe करो. We don't do that. You know, we feel that we have to sacrifice a part of our life to do this. That's not a sacrifice.
We're in this society where we feel we have to fill each and every moment of our day
Everybody.
with some kind of activity. We don't actually just sit down and read anymore, or take time to just eat our food together even. And those people who are eating in front of the TV, that is the wrong way of doing things, you know, because you're actually confusing your brain and you're not digesting your food properly when you do that. So we do need to go back to the basics, and we do need to go back and implement that simple lifestyle. At least that's what I believe in. Spend more time in nature. Think about your health. Try and create more of a work-life balance. But we, like you said, we do seem to be in this rat race, and we're kind of teaching our children the same as well. And do we really want that for our children? You know? For the younger generation, do we want them to be as busy as what we are? Don't we want them to relax and understand what it is to enjoy your time and really feel free in this world as well? Free in just eating your food, or going out and play, or just enjoying your holiday without overthinking things, worrying about things. That is the stuff that causes you anxiety at the end of the day.
You know, there are a lot of people out there who are very lonely, vulnerable people. Everybody doesn't get a chance to watch my show because sometimes people go to bed early.
Yeah.
This is a late night show. That's what's called the late show.
Yes.
My shows, I'm trying it to be beneficial, informative, educational, so that people can actually get benefit out of it.
Yeah.
बेशुमार लोग कहेंगे मैं हमेशा कह लेना प्लीज नॉट बिकॉज आई एम डूइंग द शो बिकॉज द शो इज गुड एजुकेशनल है अगर देखो लाइफ स्टाइल से चेंज लेके अब वो ਲਾਸਟ ਮਿੰਟ ਜਦੋਂ ਬਿਮਾਰੀਆਂ ਪੈ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਰਿਵਰਸ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਕੋਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ on the borderline. Then you start panicking, you do everything back into the reverse,
Yes.
which is bad again.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The low sugar is bad again, as bad as being the higher level.
Yeah.
So same thing with the blood pressure, either way.
Yeah.
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਮਕਾਨ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਨਾ the most important thing is the foundation has to be stronger for the building to stand onto that as tall as you want to build it. ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬੋਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਫਰੀਕਾ 'ਚ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਜਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਾਮਾ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੀ ਮਾਲਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ every day before giving baby a bath.
Fantastic.
Now there must be a reason for it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
To build it, their body structure, the bones
Yes.
stronger.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like the more milk you drink, the better
Yeah.
bone structure you have, all these kind of things.
Yeah.
But they have disappeared in the lifestyle we're leading now in the
Yes.
West countries.
Yeah.
And I don't know, where do people get knowledge? How do they survive? Because we don't talk about your problems.
Yeah.
Because they're very personal. We don't talk to family and friends.
Yes.
We feel embarrassed. Why should I tell someone that I got that bamari? You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
How do we educate people? We try to do shows as many as we can do it, but how far we get to, I don't know.
We have to make the change ourselves. So anybody who is watching this show and they are resonating with everything that we're saying, they are the people who have to make the change. We know that in our life it is my pain, it is my hurt, it is my body. I'm the one who's feeling things, so surely it should be me who then takes the steps. It should be me who then makes the change. So, you know, there has to be a bit of confidence out there that, you know, you can go out there and you can find help, firstly. You can talk to people. You are not the only person who is going through whatever it is that you're going through. Many others, but you won't know until you start talking. You will never know until you actually start talking and going to groups or, you know, confiding in people. And it is amazing that many people do want to help. You know, when you talk to friends, they want to help, or they might be able to direct you in a very different direction and tell you about certain groups that are forming, or, you know, about menopause, for example. There are many groups out there now where they are talking about ladies' issues, women's health, the symptoms that they're going through, and also the methods or techniques or just even classes that they're going to which are helping them. And I think that's really important. That should be there for men's health as well. So,
You know, I don't know how many people actually sit and think about the body, the creator who's made a human.
We take ourselves for granted.
Do you
that's
know
for
what?
sure.
The body is so complicated, and people like yourself who study and become professionals qualified to help out the little problems people get it. There are how many vessels in your body, God knows. Let's have a diagram on the screen. Maybe you can run through that.
Okay.
It's
Yes.
quite important to know there.
Yeah. So this is what I meant by the body having. It actually has thousands of
Thousands.
acupoints. And what you see here are the traditional ones. There's probably around something between 300 to 400 points here.
Oh my God.
So when I said that you have all these acupoints over the body, they are then connected to different parts of the body and also connected to the organs. So you will have channels here which are the heart channel, the stomach channel, the spleen, the lung, everything to do with the organs basically. And each of those points has a role to play. They have a function. They create, they actually create change in the body. That's what I'm trying to say. So when you massage that point, or when you apply heat to it, or you apply a needle which then draws in energy, draws in blood, draws in oxygen, it is making a change. Yeah.
You know, there are a couple of questions I need to ask you. Just came into my mind, having looking at the prop. The knee the shoulder,
Yes.
but the head. Let's have the proper body head first. We talk about that.
Yes.
There.
Yes. Yep.
Anxiety.
Anxiety. Yep. So again, everything is connected. Everything is connected.
To the body, from there.
From there.
From there.
We are all connected. I mean, think about the feet. When I started reflexology and started doing my courses there, what got me interested was what I can stimulate and I can massage, and this is going to affect my liver or my stomach or my, you know, lungs, etc. You know, that's reflex. And we have these micro cosms, you know, all over us. So even by looking at somebody's face, you can probably understand how the liver is functioning or how the heart is. So yeah, it's
Right.
fascinating.
Talking about anxiety and trauma, let's talk about the anxiety. A lot of people suffer from knee, and they end of the day, doctor says you have to go for the knee operation. A lot of people suffer from the shoulder pain
Yeah.
or the neck pain.
Yes. Yeah.
Is there a way that acupuncture helps these particular
Yes,
things?
yes, absolutely. So I can give you an example, a recent example actually. I had someone come in and they actually worked on a construction site and they had some kind of concrete fall on their shoulder over 10 years ago. And they could only lift their arm so high. That's it. And first time, and also I felt all along here, it was very soft. It was almost as if there was no muscle. Very soft skin. And after 3 treatments was all it took for them to gain that mobility. And they could then move their hand, and it's absolutely normal. You know, I checked in with them just a few weeks ago, and this was a treatment that happened summertime last year, just to see how they were doing. They said, yeah, I'm doing absolutely fine. All that pain has gone, and that muscle is a lot firmer, and is a lot stronger as well around the
Okay,
shoulders.
like if you talk about that pain or you talk about the knee, because end of the day, the doctor has recommended that one has to have an operation.
Yes.
Is this permanent, or that just give you relief for a short time?
No, it's permanent.
Permanent, really?
Again, firstly, it depends on the condition.
Condition, of course.
It depends on the root cause. It depends on how healthy you are as a person. Depends on your age. Depends on your lifestyle. If you have problems with your knees and you go out running on a frequent basis, you don't allow them to heal, for example, it depends on you as the patient. So, you know, you have to give things time, firstly, and there are many factors that affect it. But no, it is a permanent thing, and sometimes you have to keep on having top-ups and just keep coming, just to make sure that everything is going okay. And a lot of it is down to lifestyle, food that we're eating as well. So yeah, you have to take everything into account.
ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਟਿਪੀਕਲ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਦੇਣਾ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਆਮ ਸ਼ੋਰ ਆਈ ਕੈਨ ਸੇ ਦੈਟ ਨੀ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਸਾਜ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਕਰਨੇ ਹੋ ਇੰਜੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਬੜਾ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਐਮਰਜੈਂਸੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਿ ਦੈਟ ਗੋਇੰ ਟੂ ਰਸ਼ ਇਨਟੂ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ 6 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਸਾਲ ਵੇਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਇਨ ਦਾ ਮੀਨ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਇਲਾਜ ਕਰਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ It works, it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yes.
At least there's no side effect, koi harm nahi hai
Exactly,
which,
yeah.
you know, there's nothing like that.
Yes, yes.
And it really helps.
Yeah.
You know, one thing we've seen, like people have once learned or they're becoming more aware with these kind of problems which I just mentioned, they'll run down to the chiropractic.
Yes.
But never ever think about the acupuncture. Why is that? Because I feel, I don't know, chiropractic does help. Of course it does.
Yeah.
Now, again, I don't know whether I'm right to say it's not permanent. Because I think you're going to go for top-up again after a few months, depending your health again.
Yeah, everything is dependent. But again, I think it's down to awareness. I think it's down to it's I just don't think it's well known in our community. certainly in our community, it's not a practice that is considered, and it's certainly not spoken about. Many people have not gone through it, especially the older generation. I think, certainly with the younger generation, they're wanting to seek more natural ways of healing. But yeah, I think certainly more awareness is needed for
I've got a lot of questions. I always say that I wish I did 2 hours slot, but then I probably will say I want 3 hours slot because there's so much to talk about. Kulwinder, what I want you to do is, before we ask any more questions, I want to look at the camera there and talk about lifestyle, give advice to people, and round up whatever we talked so far.
Yes, so I would like to talk about lifestyle and food, for example. Food is medicine. That is something that we have to have in our minds, and we have to be in that mindset as well, that everything that you put into your mouth, your body has to break that down. So please think about every drug, every bit of food that you're eating, everything that you're drinking. So alcohol-wise, please think about that. Sugar, please think about the sugar level as well. According to the NHS, you're meant to have 29 grams of sugar a day. And I can tell you that one laddu only has 19 grams of sugar.
Good Lord.
Yes. So that's incredible. I had someone come in saying, "Oh, well, I'm very healthy. I only eat granola in the mornings," thinking that was very healthy. And granola itself has around 20 grams of sugar in it. So please look at the labels. All the information is there in terms of how much of it is sugar. You'll be able to see that. Alkaline and acidic foods, again, very important, and we're meant to have more alkaline foods in our body. 80 to 20 is the ratio. So 80% of our food is meant to be alkaline and 20% is meant to be acidic. I completely understand if people don't fully understand what do I mean by alkaline foods,
I was going to ask you that.
and what do I mean by acidic foods. So things like vegetables. Vegetables, they're grown in the earth.
Green.
They're green. They're all kinds of colors. They will be seen as alkaline foods. Things like meat, things like dairy will be seen, and fish will be seen more acidic. So sometimes we have this imbalance where we're eating more meat and more fish than what we are our vegetables, and we need to balance that out. People aren't drinking enough water. 70% of our bodies is water, and yet we're not feeding our bodies water. Lifestyle, are you sleeping enough, for example? You need 8 to 9 hours sleep a day. And what does sleep actually mean? Sleep means that you go to bed, a good night's sleep this is, that you go to bed, you close your eyes, you wake up, and it's the morning. It is not when you're going to the toilet the whole time, or when you're waking up because you've had a bad dream. That is not good sleep.
That's a good sleep.
That is disrupted sleep, and our bodies haven't rested enough. And when we're sleeping, that is when we are healing. So we need that sleep in order to get over the day, in order for us to heal. And it's normally lack of sleep, which then is the cause of so many other illnesses, like anxiety, like depression, insomnia, etc. A lot of us are sitting down throughout the day, and we have no choice sometimes, but sometimes we can make changes. We can stand up, we can do our work standing up, or we can take more breaks than what we normally take. So back in the day, our ancestors used to have such an active lifestyle that they only sat around, or they only had the chance to sit for 3 hours. And now it's the opposite of that, that we don't actually, we're sitting most of the day, whether it be on the sofa or at work or sitting in the car. We're just sitting the whole time. We're not moving our bodies enough.
That is true.
So we need to change that for sure as well. I think it's all about having an active lifestyle and just, you know, sitting in the office and going to the gym for an hour, that doesn't do anything for your body, really.
You understand Punjabi perfectly, all right, I know that. At least you don't speak. You know, मैं हमेशा कहना थोड़ी body ना थोड़ा partner है, थोड़ा साथी है. This is the best friend you have is your own body.
Yes.
And you got to look after it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I can't put it more bluntly than
No,
that.
you can't.
ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਹੌਬੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ. ਮੇਰਾ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਹੈ, ਮੇਰੀ ਬੋਡੀ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਵਾਕਈ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਹੈਗਾ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਇਹ ਰੱਬ ਦੀ ਹੈ. ਉਹ ਕਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੀ ਕਿ ਟੇਕ ਇਟ ਐਨੀ ਟਾਈਮ.
Oh, yeah.
ਦੇयर ਇਜ਼ no ਉਹਦਾ ਲਿਮਿਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, ਕੋਈ ਕਾਲ ਡੇਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ, ਸੈਲ ਡੇਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ. ਸੋ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਥੀ ਹੈਗਾ. ਇਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੁੱਕ ਆਫਟਰ ਕਰੋਗੇ, ਇਹਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਥ ਦੇਣਾ. ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੋ. ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਾਰਦਾ, ਬੜੀ ਡੂੰਘੀਆਂ ਬੜੀ ਸੀਰੀਅਸ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ. ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਥੀ ਹੈ. ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਥ ਦੇਗਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬੋਡੀ ਖੁਦ ਦੀ ਬੋਡੀ ਦੇਗੀ. ਸੋ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਟਰਸਟ ਕਰੋ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਲੁੱਕ ਆਫਟਰ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਉਮੀਦ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ. ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਈਏ. ਇਹ ਸਿਰਫ ਐਡਵਾਈਸ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਜਨਰਲ ਟਾਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਹਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਗੂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ. ਤੁਹਾਡਾ GP ਦੱਸੇਗਾ. Kulwinder, I really appreciate you making an effort to come down, and I really hope that people would have benefited out of this.
No, thank you so much for the opportunity.
And, you know, you're most welcome next time. If anything else happening, please do come along. And like I see, you got the same habit as I have. Pala kar pala, ho sab ka pala. You know, I want people to do good and just help people out as much as you can.
That is what it's about. It's about raising awareness about our health, that we should empower ourselves and our bodies.
Thank you so much. Time badi fast chale gaya. Next week mulaqat hogi. Tab tak rab rakha. Say goodbye.
Thank you.
Sri Akaal ji.